What's up, y'all? We're in studio, as you can see, and I figured I'd set the stage for my boy Charlie T coming in. Charlie is a man of many talents. Charlie's got his master's in public administration. He's worked on multiple U.S. Senate as well as U.S. congressional campaigns. He's managed a local political campaign, and he's also a licensed history teacher. So, man of many talents. We're going to talk some politics today. We'll talk other things career-wise as well. But that's my boy Charlie T coming in. Let's do it. What's up, y'all? This is the Sean Tom Podcast. This will be episode 3. We've got my boy Charlie T here, as I just introduced before this. So the first question, as always, of the podcast is liquor or lightning. And since we're filming this at night, we decided to go with liquor. So I've got Howlerhead here, which is one of the new sponsors of the UFC, actually, which is a banana-infused whiskey. I had not ever tried anything like that, so I was like, let me see what's up with this. So I'm mixing it with ginger ale because I don't really like to mix with too much sugar, so I went with sugar-free ginger ale. It's okay. It's pretty good. I give it like a 7 out of 10. But what are you sipping on, Charlie?
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke.
In my Central Barbecue cup.
In his Central Barbecue cup.
Central Barbecue is a staple. You know.
Central Barbecue is a staple in Memphis, in case y'all don't know. I know we talk about Memphis a lot on this podcast, and then also my other podcast, which is something to note too, which I just told you guys in the intro before this, but Charlie's a co-host of my MMA podcast, The Chrome Corner. And we actually both showed up with our Memphis jerseys on today. I've got a basketball one on, and he's got a college football one on, and we didn't plan this.
Let me explain this. Memphis is better at football than Texas A&M. I know that's tough for you people in Texas to believe, but we beat Mississippi State, and Mississippi State just beat Texas A&M. So riddle me that.
That is a fair point. And Arkansas also beat A&M last week, although we didn't do too well this week, but we won't go into the details of that. So after the liquor and lightning question, we've got trivia that we do for each person on the show. So if you haven't seen the podcast before, if he gets 1 or 2 out of 5 questions right, he takes 2 shots. If he gets 3 or 4 right, we both take a shot. And if he gets all 5 right, then I take a shot. All right, that's the rules. First question is, you should get this one. You got to get this one. What college did Michael Jordan attend?
Oh, North Carolina.
There we go. First question right. Okay. All right, this one's, I remember. All right, here's another one. What famous rapper did Kylie Jenner have a baby with?
Tiger.
Incorrect.
Oh, fuck, Travis Scott.
It's Travis Scott.
God,
Gotcha.
I missed that. I knew it. It was, well, she's done with so fucking many of them, man.
Yep, that's true. That's a bad rep to have. So that's you're one in.
She's a bad bitch, though.
You're 1-1 right now.
Okay, 1-1.
Okay, next question. This is your third question. What are the only 2 teams in the NFL, you should get this one, that have 6 Super Bowl wins?
Patriots and Steelers.
Correct. You're 2-1. You only got to get one more question right out of the next 2.
All right.
So that we both take a shot and you don't have to take 2.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Next question. Question 4. Red Bull or Monster Energy, which one was released first?
Man, I'm 100% going to say Red Bull.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so you got 3.
Red Bull's been around since like the late 90s, I think.
Yeah, but definitely before Monster.
Dude,
So
those old Red Bull commercials used to be the shit. Used to be like motherfuckers doing like extreme stuff, and then they'd be like, "Welcome to the world of Red Bull," and the guy like jumps out of a plane. Like, okay, I'm drinking Red Bull.
yeah, Red Bull was one of the first that really like took off the energy drink market, I would say, like to the next level of like super popular.
I love Red Bull. I drink one every morning. I'm not ashamed to say it. Shit tastes amazing.
I do like I love Red Bulls and Monsters, but I know that they're not the healthiest thing to drink. That's for sure. What is the 2-letter state abbreviation for Maine?
Yeah, I used to teach history,
Okay.
and I wish geography was included. Is it M-E?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Correct, sir. It is
Yes.
M-E. The state abbreviation for Maine.
You know, I used to live in New Hampshire. That's the only reason why I knew that.
Okay. A little bit of northeast in you.
Fuck no, dude. That place sucked. Everyone's like, walk.
Okay, so you got 4 out of 5, which lands us in the category of us both taking a shot.
And guess what? I got another Central Barbecue cup. I don't have any shot glasses.
That's all you have in your house, isn't it? Central Barbecue cups.
Bro, I love Central Barbecue. This place is a shit. Have you ever had their wings? Fuck their barbecue. Try their smoked wings.
I actually haven't had their wings.
Holy shit, dude. I'm going to ship you some.
All right,
No, I'm serious. Like, their smoked wings are so good.
I'll eat them on air for the MMA podcast. Okay, let me get a.
Well,
Grab the howler head and the shot glass.
I'm already feeling it a little bit, so this thing's gonna put me over the edge again. So.
I know I don't really need a shot right now, but it's part of the show, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm showing you right now. I got my howler head, and I'm pouring a shot here.
Howler head.
At least it's a flavored whiskey, so it'll be a little bit lighter for me.
Dana White with his howler head.
I think
that guy needs any more fucking money.
Right. Damn, I feel this thing y'all look at that. Hey, I don't skimp on it.
Get some like Dr. Pepper to fucking chase it with, man.
I don't have
some
it.
Sprite. Get some milk.
Get some root. Some root. Hey, I'm gonna go straight.
Okay, let's do it. On 3.
1, 2, 3. Woo! So the next part of the podcast is called check-in. So we're going to check in on your, as well as my, mental and physical on a scale of 1 to 10 at the moment. So you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm doing mental and physical, right?
Yeah, scale of 1 to 10.
Okay, so mental, I don't think anybody is ever, like, fully a 10 mentally unless they're just completely clear. Everybody has some issues. I would go, like, in my state, probably like a 7.
Okay.
On a good day, probably an 8. Of course, I still have, I get stressed out with my job, of course, and, I always have issues with, it could be like family or, when it comes to, we're at that age where we're thinking about like settling down, so it's always like dating issues as well. So from that perspective, like a 7. Physically, I feel great. I give myself a 9.5 because
that's great.
I just got back from the gym. I work out every day. It's become a hobby. Started a few 7 years ago now, and it's just become an everyday thing. So physically, I feel great. I actually gave up, except for this, mixing it. I gave up soda a week and a half ago.
Really?
Better for my kidneys and overall health to give it up. So I've just been on water. And the first few days I had headaches, like caffeine withdrawal, but ever since then I feel so much better.
Man.
Water makes me feel great. Physically, like a 9.5, I feel great.
Okay, so we got a 7 for the mental, 8 on a good day, you said, and a 9.5 for the physical.
I don't want to cheat anybody on the mental part. We all struggle. Yeah. I struggle like anyone else.
Absolutely. Mental health is a super important thing to think about and consider these days. There's a lot of factors that go into life, especially at our age when you become an adult and you're fully in a career path and everything like that, and you're thinking about settle down. Everything that you mentioned, that's all absolutely correct. And props to you for putting down the sodas, man. I haven't fully put them down, but I mean seriously, that
it's tough, dude.
that plagues our country. I feel like sodas is one of the biggest hindrances when it comes to like what American people have trouble putting down. You know.
Yeah, it ties into everything. I mean, you talk about what's going on right now with the whole COVID thing. Like, people are dying, and a big reason why is something we don't talk about: obesity. Obesity's fucking pandemic on its own. I mean, a big reason is people eat terribly, they drink soda, and they don't, exercise. So yeah, it plays a huge part in it.
Absolutely. To your point, I've traveled a little bit to a couple countries outside of the U.S., and when I went to Belgium and when I went to Poland, it was very apparent when I was walking around, one, that everyone walks a lot. They walk to a lot of places they go instead of driving or instead of public transportation. I mean, they have those things too, but a lot of them walk or they bicycle everywhere. So it definitely helps your health, like overall as a community and a country or whatever. And then when you look around, you really don't see very many obese people. Like, we get so comfortable seeing so many obese people here in America. It's almost like it's normal. Like, if someone's obese, we don't even look twice at them necessarily. But in other countries, depending on where you go, of course, like from where I've been to Mexico too, but in Belgium and in Poland, there was not very many obese people at all. And it was like, wow, this is one of the differences, that shows how much there's a problem in the U.S.
I mean, I think the person who made the biggest deal about it was that guy who made the McDonald's supersize me. Like, you saw, we're just too fat. And like, it's an inconvenient truth. You're not hurting someone's feelings to say, hey, I care about you. I think you're too big, and I want you to live a long, healthy life.
The first thing I wanted to ask you, and just kind of spark some conversation, and we'll get into more details, is so when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be President of the United States.
Really?
Yes.
At what age are we talking? What age did you decide you wanted to be President of the United States?
Probably when I was in 5th grade, because I got really into, or 4th grade actually, or whatever grade it was. There was the 2000 election.
Uh-huh.
And I was actually, God, I can't remember, 2nd grade. I was 8 years old. I was about to turn 9. I got really involved in the 2000 election. I got really interested in it. I didn't know much about it at the time, but I thought it was the idea of being somebody who could influence that many people and create a legacy, based on their belief systems and ideologies. That would be really cool. So that's kind of what led me to, I guess, want to be that. Plus, I mean, it's the power too. It's like being president.
A little bit of a power thing, a little bit of a legacy type thing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So this is I kind of find that to be a kind of a unique answer, for someone to say what they wanted to be as a kid, and so. Not that it's extremely uncommon for that to be an answer, but I think that it's not a common answer. You know what I mean? So did you know any other kids that had that same thought process, or was it kind of were you an outlier?
Not so much. Knew a lot of them that had that. I mean, kids are such copycats that the second you tell them what you want to be, next thing you know, they want to be the same thing. But,
right.
Dude, everyone around me wanted to be a football player, basketball, baseball player, athlete. Athlete was always the common answer. And I was like, I don't want to be somebody who, does something for a while and is forgotten. I want to be somebody who always had a fascination with history.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be somebody who, when you open the history book, you would see, my picture, and not necessarily a lot of information about me, but a lot of information about the ideals and political positions that I used to shape the nation in the direction I wanted it to go. Something meaningful, live a meaningful life, not just one that, you're here 1 minute, you're gone the next. So that was probably the biggest reason.
Okay. So do you think that you still have those aspirations? Do you still, at this point in your life, think there's a path for me and I also want to be the president of the United States?
Well, I mean, there's always a desire. I mean, as I've matured, I don't think it's something I could handle based on, a whole thing called anxiety and stress. I used to work in politics. I enjoyed the profession. I enjoyed the show, as they call it. I would like to stay involved and potentially one day throw my hat in the ring, but not be president, because that is a tall order, and I think there's a lot more qualified people for the job than me, just to be completely honest.
Okay. So me coming from an area of, I'm never been involved in politics. I don't have any family involved in politics. I'm kind of the general civilian who knows what I try to quote unquote research online and what I see on the news and what I see on social media. So it's a conglomerate of all those things and what I try to piece together in my head, right? So first, before I get into this question, so kind of explain your working in politics. So what did you do in politics in a general sense?
Okay, so I started out when I was 18. Had my first internship for a campaign, and interns, bottom of the barrel. Knocked on doors for 3-4 hours a day. I made phone calls for 6 to 7. After that, I got a job as a field representative, and the main job of a field rep in politics is to organize phone banks, canvass neighborhoods, basically voter outreach. So you're trying to get together a group of volunteers to, make phone calls for 3-4 hours a day. You're getting those same volunteers out to neighborhoods to knock, 200 to 300 doors in an afternoon. So voter outreach was my number one objective when I was doing that job. And I also had the responsibility of sometimes I would set up events for the candidate that I was working for, at whether it was like a civic center, a restaurant, just like a pancake breakfast. I would set it up with a restaurant owner and reach out to people in a specific town or community that we're going to be in and let them know, hey, they're going to be here for a meet and greet. If you have any questions. So basically I was kind of like a outreach guy and a organizer.
Okay. So I know now, and for those listening, and you can kind of expand on this after I kind of bridge the gap here, but now you work in sales for you're a custom clothier for custom suits, correct? Is that the correct way to say it?
I work for Tom James Company. We're the world's largest supplier of custom clothing. And the thing most people think we do are suits and sport coats, which we do, but we expanded into like casual wear, and we do like custom jeans and stuff as well. So I've been doing that for a year and a half. I really enjoy it. I've always loved dressing up, wearing suits. So it kind of fits my personality well. One of the main things I liked about working in politics was the aspect of wearing a suit all the time. A lot of people hate wearing suits. I love it.
Yeah, I do feel like that's one of those things that you either love or hate, right? There's people who they love dressing to the nine, as high of a level of dressing as they can, and then there's certain people that they just want to be in sweats. That's what they prefer. So my question to you about that and trying to bridge that gap between politics and what you do now would be, how much do you think it actually mattered? Because in politics, what I think of, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I think of is the people who are running for positions in politics, who actually hold the positions that campaigns surround. Their public image, which involves what they wear, is extremely important, right?
Oh, yeah.
So to what level would you say that it matters what you're wearing when you're in those positions as far as brands, things that people can recognize, or is it just that you're suited in general?
Dude, this is the damnedest freaking thing about politics.
Okay.
So I was managing a campaign in 2016, and it was in you know where Fayette County is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Fayette County,
And it was
Tennessee,
there.
for those who don't know.
Yeah, and I typically, my sport coats and my suits are bolder, a lot of pastel colors.
Conor McGregor style.
Yeah, bro, so that doesn't fly out in, the country. And I was literally talked to and said, you should start wearing jeans and just a button down and maybe get some boots too. Because in politics, it's all about perception.
Uh-huh.
And if you walk into I'd say a restaurant in the middle of, West Tennessee out in the country, and you're wearing like a purple sport coat and, loafers, people are not going to take you seriously, and they're not going to open up to you the way they would if you walk in wearing boots, jeans, and just a polo or a button down. So in some cases, you want to dress up, but you also want to be mindful of who you're trying to reach when it comes to campaigning. And a good example of that is a guy named Scott Walker. He was governor of Wisconsin.
Okay.
In 2016, he made a big deal about the fact that he got his suits from Joseph A. Bank for like a buy one, get 3 free thing, because he was trying to relate to working class people who, shop for clothing that's on sale and don't spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant on his part, but you'd be surprised how, who you're campaigning to and who you're trying to get to vote for you plays into how you dress. So it's you're kind of like a chameleon.
Okay.
That's the best way to put it.
So that is a lot of that is something that I would have guessed, that politics is a lot of, and I think a lot of people can kind of misconstrue it as being fake, but I don't think it's necessarily being fake. Is you're in a way you're a salesman a little bit, so you're kind of playing to your audience, right? So you're gonna kind of leave little things out here and there. You're gonna add little things here and there, but at your core, you're still the same individual.
Yeah, I mean, you're still the same, but the people you're trying to reach, if they're not anything like you, you have to adapt. So adapting is part of the game.
So would you say that the way that you prefer to dress with the pastels and the more extravagant colors and things like that, and the patterns you put together, and I've seen them and I dig it, man. You're fresh as hell, and you're, like I said, Conor McGregor-esque style. So would you say that that's more of an LA type of style, or have you worked in environments where that was needed?
Well, it's more of it's more fashion forward, meaning someone who's more into image is going to relate to how I dress than someone who, say like works construction or, doesn't dress up. Clothing's not important to them. So yeah, I mean, it's more contemporary and it's more geared towards people who, I guess, don't live in like blue collar environments, because they're not ever going to wear stuff like that.
Right. Okay, it's just not the culture, right?
No, I mean, but like you said, LA fits right in.
Okay. So last question before we get to the halfway point of the podcast. So I know you're someone who's had multiple careers, right? Or you have multiple expertises. Would you say that you support the idea of backup plans when it comes to careers, or are you more of a supporter of going all in on one idea?
Never to go in on one idea
Okay.
unless you think it's going to be what you do for the rest of your life. If you're doing it for a money reason, it's never going to work out and you're going to be miserable. And, I tried to tell that too, because I actually taught as well. I would, someone maybe 17, 18, graduating, saying they want to, I don't want to go to college. I want to join the service. I want to, join the Army, join the Navy. I'm like, that's great. I'm all for it. But just make sure that's what you want to do, because, it's not something you can just opt out of if you change your mind.
Yeah.
Or if somebody says, hey, I don't want to go to college, I want to learn a trade, which is great, but be prepared. If that's what you do, you're going to be doing that the rest of your life, because you are putting yourself into one career path. You're not opening up the opportunities, go to college, get an education in something, maybe like finance or, business administration or, anything like that, where you can translate that into a more diverse work opportunity. I'm not saying everyone should go to college. I'm not saying that it's the best idea for everyone, but I think it's always good to have other options on the table. Because when you put yourself in one position, it doesn't give you many opportunities to ever change.
Yeah, I would agree with what you're saying in the direction you took that. So I feel the same way. For those who aren't familiar, so I was in college when my social media platform took off. And to preface what I'm saying, I know a lot of people who took this a different direction and were also successful. So I'm not saying that this is the only way to do things, but this is how I did it. This is how my parents instructed me to do it, and this is how I would suggest for someone to do it. So when I was in college, getting my business degree to work in IT, that's when my social media platform took off. And I mean, it blew up. It was like boom. Vine was the platform it blew up on, 200,000+ followers in a year or so. I mean, it blew up very quickly. And a lot of people were telling me, dude, why are you still going to school? Like, just go do that. You can make so much money, this and that. All you got to do is just keep it going. Just if you don't have to go to school every day, you don't have to work every day. You can just post videos all the time, this and that, da-da-da. And, I thought about it, of course. It crossed my mind, this and that. And I decided to get my degree. So I agree with you as far as not putting all your eggs in one basket, because it kind of depends on what your goals are, right? So if you don't want to have a family and kids in the future, I feel like you can gamble more on whatever you want to do. And then if it doesn't work out, it's going to be okay as long as you're okay with it not working out. But for me, my number one goal in all of my entire life, if I only get one thing accomplished, I want to be a good husband and a good dad. So with that being said, I want a stable career first. And then if something pops off for me on the outside of that and I can go do that to where it's stable enough, then I'll go do it. But if nothing pops off outside of my IT career that gives me enough money or more money than my IT career, I'm going to stay stable so that whoever my future wife and kids are, they have everything that they need no matter what. That's my perspective on it.
No, I feel that. It's a good point.
So we got my boy here, Charlie T. Charlie, say what up to the people.
What's up?
All right, so I got a list here. We're on the podcast. We're live right now. You see the mic. I got a list here. I'm going to read off to Charlie T. He's got to give thumbs up or thumbs down on the topic that I give him. He can't give any explanation, though. He's just got to give thumbs up or thumbs down. Y'all tell us what y'all think about the thumbs up or thumbs down, because he can't explain. Y'all just got to tell me what y'all think, okay? Y'all get to see it first before it comes out to YouTube, okay? So first thing on the list, Charlie.
Yep.
We'll start off light for you. So we got Fireball Whiskey. Thumbs down, okay.
Not a Fireball fan.
Oh, can't explain. All right, we got Powerlifting. Thumbs up, okay.
Thumbs up.
Mark McGuire. Ooh, thumbs down, okay. Tyler Perry movies.
Fuck those, man. Those are nice.
Oh, shit. Okay. So we got two options on this one. Thumbs up for Yo Gotti and thumbs down for 3 6 Mafia. Which one do you pick?
I'm never gonna say thumbs down for 3-6. So thumbs up for Yo Gotti.
Thumbs up for Yo Gotti. Okay. So thumbs up or thumbs down? Taking an extra scoop of pre-workout.
I don't take pre-workout, so I'm gonna say down.
Don't take it at all. Okay.
Nah.
All right. Trump running in 2024. Thumbs up. Okay. The former Cincinnati Bengal, Vontez Burfict.
Bro, Vontez Burfict was the shit. Even though he got in trouble all the time.
Thumbs up. Okay. I'm going to go thumbs down. But all right, I got you.
Yep.
All right. Jim Carrey movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay. John Jones, the fighter.
You gotta say Bones, man. Up. Even though he's gotten into some shit, I'm still going up for Bones.
All right. Disciplining your kids by spanking.
Oh, always, dude. you gotta grow up with the discipline, man. Otherwise, you're just,
Man, I said always. Okay. 2 more left. The war in Afghanistan.
That is.
No, can't explain.
That is too complex to put a thumbs up or thumbs down. Well, the reason we went over there.
You got to pick one. You can't explain. What you got?
I'm never. Okay, I'm saying thumbs up because I'm never gonna say any American conflict where servicemen and women died is a mistake. So I'm never gonna dishonor them like that.
Okay. Polygamous marriages.
The fuck is a polygamous?
It's where a man's married to multiple women, Charlie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
He said, yeah.
Sign me up to that Mormon shit.
What do y'all think out there about these answers? I gotta hear now. All right. Let me see what y'all think about these answers. Let's see. What was it? What did I ask? Oh, Fireball. You said which one on Fireball?
I said no.
You said no. Rip Price said, hell yeah, it's got to be cold though.
Fair point.
I said, where y'all from out there? And Rip said the hood. All right, it looks like we're going to get off the live here, y'all. We did the up or down with Charlie T. We're going to get back to the podcast. If you want to see the rest of it, check us out on YouTube and follow Charlie at, what is it, Charlie?
Good_luck_Chuck_91 Instagram.
You heard it here. Go follow my boy. Okay, so Charlie T, tell me something about politics that you did not expect before getting into it.
Not expect?
Yep.
Well, man, this is from a local perspective, because I never worked in like a national campaign, but I'm sure it's even worse than that. Is the traveling, man. You're driving a lot every day.
Okay.
Sometimes hours. If you're working like a state senate or state representative campaign, you're driving to different counties. When I worked on the county or the district was, from one point to the other was like 2.5 hours away. So there was a lot of driving every day. And traveling is the number one thing I didn't realize was, pretty intense before I got in there.
Okay. So a lot of movement to get things done.
A lot of driving, a lot of shit.
Okay. So following up on that, or following up on the politics topic at least. So, as we all know, Trump versus Biden, super controversial, right? Biden is our president currently. If you, from your perspective and your experience within a political campaign, if you were in Biden's campaign, what's something from your perspective that they should be doing differently?
Everything.
Let me put this emphasis on it. So from the point of view that you are on Biden's side of the political spectrum, what is something that they could do better for their wants and needs? What are they doing incorrectly to get their image or their message to the public?
Well, I know the number one thing right now that they're pushing is amnesty for those who don't know what amnesty is, it's basically allowing citizenship to anyone who comes in the country, whether it be asylum seekers or just illegals coming across the border. Illegal immigration is very unpopular in America. There's a number of polls that people vehemently oppose it, and Biden's policy seems to be open borders, walk across, we're going to take care of you. Number one is change that, because it's hitting his approval numbers hard. Second one is quit trying to spin the Afghanistan withdrawal. His administration botched that. We left Americans behind in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, we lost 13 service people because of partially due to his foreign policy incompetence and not following the direct advice of his joint chiefs of staff and military commanders. And number three, quit trying to pass $5 trillion in new spending when you have a 2,000-page bill that hasn't been read and hasn't been discussed enough. So a lot of reasons, a lot of things I would give to Biden to change his presidency. I doubt it would work, but yeah, he's got a lot of work to do.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to give you the floor on that one, because you know more about politics than me. You're more in the weeds of everything and more educated on that type of topic. So that's going to bring us to a close for the podcast. The last thing that I did want to do is to spotlight a brand or a person or a company at the end of the podcast for people that I think could get value from it, because that's what this podcast is about. It's about creating clean-cut alpha men, or helping them get to that point, or helping them maintain being that. And so I kind of want to give you the floor a little bit on this. So with your clothing, what is your Instagram handle for promoting your custom clothing? Because as an alpha guy, as a guy in general in the community, what I would call of guys that want to be successful in life, having a good suit can be extremely important, and first impressions can be extremely important. So what is the Instagram and what is the company that you work for that you'd like to promote for your selling of custom suits?
Okay, so my Instagram is similar to my regular Instagram. It's good_luck_chucks clothing. The company I work for is Tom James Company. We're the largest custom clothing company in the world. We work with a lot of successful attorneys, businessmen, politicians, athletes, and the reason, whether you work as an attorney, whether you work as a tradesman, you can be a teacher, you can be a administrator, having a good quality suit, for special occasions, whether it be a wedding, a funeral, a new job interview, is vital. Because like you said, first impressions make all the difference. And why would you not want to make the best first impression possible? And as a clothier, I take over 25 measurements for one person before we make their suit for them, and it's made based on the measurements that I take, which is a huge benefit in terms of quality, comfort, and style compared to something you would buy at a department store. And plus you have a much wider selection of fabric, and the quality of our fabric is superior to anything I feel like you can find in the store. And those are a few reasons why I think, even if you don't want to dress up every day, one good quality suit can make a difference. So there you go.
Absolutely. So y'all have the Instagram there now for in case you need to contact Charlie for that need. Charlie's your guy for the custom suits and getting suited and booted. Would like to throw in there that for those who watch MMA, or even those who maybe even know who Jake Paul is. I can't believe I'm saying that right now, but he just fought a guy named Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley, former multiple-time, I think 4-time UFC champion, one of the greatest welterweights of all time at the 170-pound division in the UFC, one of the baddest men on the planet. He gets suited by Tom James, correct?
Yes, sir. He gets suited by Tom James in St. Louis. The man who handles his clothing is actually the brother of my boss here in Memphis. So, it's a great thing to have when, you're a busy guy like Tyron Woodley. You fight, you train all the time. You don't have time to shop. You want to look your best. Custom clothing that's what it's here for. And those are the people we like to serve.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, for any of y'all who need that, reach out to Charlie, get in contact with him. He's your guy. He's got you. And I appreciate you listening to the podcast. Charlie, I really appreciate you coming on, man. You're the first guest on the podcast, which is a very, very memorable thing for me moving forward. So I know I'll always remember you were the first one. We do our MMA podcast together. For those interested in MMA, check out the Chrome Corner on YouTube, Chrome Corner MMA on Instagram. And we'll be posting, all the fight pics and everything for you guys. So thank you, Charlie. It was a hell of a podcast. Thank you all for listening, and we're out.
One last input.
Wait, yep.
Second guess. I got your second guess.
Second guess? Okay.
Jeff Hands of Steel Neal.
Ooh.
If he declines this idiot in Atlanta named Eric Dahlberger, he'd be a good fit.
Jeff Hands of Steel Neal. Yeah, I met Jeff the other day in the UFC Fit out here in Dallas, Texas. I won't say which one because I don't think he probably wants everybody knowing which one he goes to. But Jeff Hands of Steel Neal, he was a cool guy. I only met him for a couple minutes, talked to him for a second, got a little picture or whatever. But that he seemed like a really cool guy, open to getting the picture with me, really nice and appreciative. So thank you, Jeff. And it'd be great to have you on the podcast. Maybe I'll clip this as a separate section and I'll put it on Instagram and tag Jeff and see if he's down. But I appreciate that. Yeah. So, and then I could also get Eric Dahlberger owning a clothing brand out in Atlanta, Georgia. Our boy we grew up with in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll see. We'll see. I got a couple people lined up. I have to get the scheduling right. But thank you again, Charlie, and thank you everybody for listening.